Unsimala. Most people think this means pity me. Most people think this word Unsimala means have pity on me, have mercy upon me. I'm a man filled with sin. Have mercy upon my soul. That's what most Indian people think. Most Lakota people think that Unsimala means have pity on me, have mercy upon my wicked, worthless soul. That definition was created by the missionaries and the priests who first came to our reservations in the early 1900s. Because during that time period, reservations were like prisons. We couldn't leave, and we could not have weapons of any kind. So we couldn't hunt. The only food that we were allowed to eat was government food. Really bad things like salted pork, dried goods, really outdated meat. And all of that poisoned our bodies. So we became physically ill, developing heart disease and hypertension and other things that are connected to those. Bad eating, unhealthy eating. We were not allowed to go fish. We were not allowed to hunt. We were not allowed to go collect cherries, choke cherries, and buffalo berries, and wild rice, and timsila, that's wild turnips, and wild onions. We were not allowed to eat those things. We weren't allowed to leave. We had to only eat whatever America gave to us, and that's what really hurt us bad. And then in April 10th, 1883, our language and ceremonies were declared illegal. Imagine that, America, land of the free, with freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion. But for Indian people, Lakota spirituality and ceremonies and language were made illegal. How about that? Isn't that crazy? Hence, I said reservations were like concentration camps in the beginning. So we were hit not only physically, now we are hit emotionally and spiritually. Then we became weak-minded. These are the four parts of the self: the physical body, the emotions, the soul, and the mind. So we were hit in three parts: the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. And then the mental, the fourth part, went down. Now we're deprived of things that we need. Now we become weak-minded. And that's when the churches came to the reservation and took advantage of our weak-mindedness and began to brainwash us. And during that process, they changed words. They wanted to use Lakota words to get us to come to church. So they took some of our stories and Christianized those stories. And then they said that if we go to church, life will be better for us. So people started to go to church. And in our weakened minds, we started to believe and accept what these priests were saying. And one of those things that they were saying was that Unsimala means have mercy upon me. So in those days, we had to bow to the priest and beg the priest to please ask God, the Christian and Catholic God, to forgive us of our sins and forgive us for being animals. God, please forgive me for being an Indian. That's what we were saying. The priest taught us to say that. God, forgive me for being Lakota. Have mercy upon my worthless soul and accept me. That's what we were saying when we started to go to church. We were brainwashed. And then we started to accept that definition of Unsimala to mean have mercy upon me. Now I'll tell you what Unsimala really means. Unsimala is using a concept of the natural law of generosity, which we call wawokie. In this natural law, it states that whatever you communicate returns to you 4 times as strong. So if it's a healthy communication, the energy in the communication returns to you 4 times as strong. If it's an unhealthy communication, again, the unhealthy energy returns to you 4 times as strong too. So you can either bless yourself or mess yourself up. See how that works? Communication is what you say, what you do, how you say it, and how you do it. And it's how good do you listen? How good do you interpret what you see, what you feel, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell? How do you interpret that? That is also communication. And how good do you listen? That's communication too. So how you do these things, if it's unhealthy and close-minded, you're sending an energy out and it's going to come back to you 4 times as strong. So you're going to get worse. You're making yourself sick and you're keeping yourself infected. You are diseased and you're only making it worse the more you do this. Now, if you communicate in a healthy way, you're blessing yourself because it's returning to you 4 times as healthy. That's a healthy energy. So when you communicate in a healthy way, that energy returns to you 4 times as strong, 4 times as healthy, and you bless yourself this way. That's wawokia. So when you do things, you don't say, oh, I'm going to do this because I want to receive a blessing. That's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. It's the energy in the communication. If it's a healthy communication, the energy in the communication returns to you 4 times as healthy. This helps your soul development. This is not about doing something good to get something good in return. No, that's not what it's about. That's not generosity. When you say, well, I'm going to do something nice so something nice will happen to me, if you think like that, that's not healthy. Because that's not what it's about. It's not about getting something good. No, no, no. It's about energy coming back to you 4 times as strong. That's wawokia. So, Unsimala, it involves wawokia, this natural law of generosity. Unsimala means, I have a need. Will you please help me? And when that person helps you, he or she is doing a healthy communication because that person is helping you. So they're sending out a healthy communication, which means it's going to return to them 4 times as strong. So when you are saying to somebody, Unsimala, what you're doing is you're inviting blessings to come to the person who is going to help you. So everyone benefits. You get your help, and the person who helped you is going to be blessed somehow because he sent out a healthy energy in helping you. And that energy is going to return to him 4 times as strong. So because of that, he or she will receive the greater blessing. So you're inviting blessings to come to somebody when you say Unsimala to them. That's a beautiful concept. But the priests, the Christian and Catholic priests, they changed that to mean, oh, have mercy upon my worthless soul. I'm just a worthless Indian. They made the Indians kneel down in front of the priest and say to the priest, please tell God to forgive me. The priest tell them to do this because the priest says, you're just an Indian. You're not good enough for God. So you tell me what you want to say, and then I will tell it to God. So they're saying that Indians are not good enough. See what I mean? The real definition of Unsimala is really beautiful. And the Christian version is really unhealthy. Have pity on me. That's not what Unsimala means. So today, if you go on a reservation, any reservation, Lakota reservation, and ask 100 people that understand a little bit of Lakota, what does Unsimala mean? 99 of those people will say, have pity on me. That shows you how effective the Christian brainwashing was.
Okay, so let's say this word and try to say it the same way that I say it because I'm teaching you the music of the language as well. So repeat after me, please. Unsimala. Very good. And now let's say it in a sentence. All men, repeat after me, please. Unsimala yo. Very good. All women, repeat after me, please. Unsimala ye. Very good. Tukashela Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay we chose Anicha Pila Maya yellow hay Pila Maya yellow hay Tukashela Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay we chose Anicha Pila Maya yellow hay Pila Maya yellow hay Tukashela Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay we chose Anicha Pila Maya yellow hay Pila Maya yellow hay Tukashela Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay Unsimala yellow hay we chose Anicha Pila Maya yellow hay Pila Maya yellow hay I invite you to come visit my website at wolakota7.com. You can see the address on the screen, and here you can learn about the books that I've written and also some of the services that I offer. For example, spiritual consultation and Lakota language lessons. And you can see the books that I wrote, and one of them, called Kea and Matho Stonehearts, I wrote with my wife. And if you would like to order these books or order any of my services, you can see all the information on the screen. And for more questions, please write to me at the email address that you see at the bottom right of the screen. I'd like to thank you all for watching my Lakota Language YouTube channel. And I hope you're getting information that can help you in learning the language. And the best way to learn Lakota language is to also learn the culture of the language, because a lot of the language rules are based on cultural and spiritual concepts. And if you don't know, I do have another YouTube channel that is based more on the Lakota spirituality and Lakota culture. And I'm going to put a link to that channel in the video description. So if you don't know about my other channel on Lakota spirituality, I invite you to come visit and check out the information that I have there. I got a lot of videos and also some songs, traditional songs and contemporary songs. Yeah, so I invite you to visit my other channel. Everything is a circle. There is no end. So that's why we say until next time, which in Lakota is Doksha Ake. And with that, I will catch you in the next video.